Welcome back to Survival on Purpose coverage of the 2018 Blade Show. Here with Stephen Stanton from Habilis Bush Tools. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Habilis Bush Tools.
And you may remember the very first knife review I ever did on the channel was for, I believe the very first one was for this knife, which was the Pathfinder Trade Knife. This is the newer version with a little bit bigger handle, but still got this knife, still one of the best knives I've ever bought. And it's made by Stephen, right?
Yes, sir.
So I always like to stop in and say hello to him. And I'm trying to make it look like I'm not shorter than him, but there's no hope for that. So we got some new stuff out this year, though, and
we do indeed.
Habilis, by the way, is a Georgia company, right?
Yes, sir.
I like that good Georgia company. So
thank you very much.
Thanks for taking a minute. Show us what you got new.
Sure. Well, the first thing would be it's more of our traditional American bushcraft style knife. We're calling this one the Scout. It is similar in profile to the trade knife, but
a little bigger,
much more belly. It is a thicker steel also at 3/16 inch thickness, so it's more geared toward the rigors of bushcraft.
Right.
It also gives you a little bit more heft for chopping and things like that.
And it's also sharp. I had about 7 stitches from my Pathfinder Trade Knife a couple years ago, so
they have a tendency to bite that way.
Yeah, so that's, which one is this again?
The Scout.
The Scout, and we set that away.
And speaking of chopping, this is our new heavy chopper. Let's see.
Wow.
Bring it up there. It's called the Explorer, and it's the largest knife I've done to date at 15 inches overall.
Wow.
And it's
that's the angle in the handle.
Between a knife and a machete. So we heat treat it the same as a knife, but it gives you the performance of a machete. We did put the choke up choil in it, so you can get up for doing finer work. But
it's got the angle handle, so you get good chopping.
Right.
Too.
And it is made from the 1/8 inch 1095 high carbon steel, so it's got a nice spring to it. So there again, it functions as a machete, but it has the edge holding capability of a traditional knife.
Like hard
handles? G10 fiberglass.
G10, okay.
Yes, sir. G10. I like the G10 just because there's nothing you can throw at it that it can't take.
Yeah.
It's stable at higher and lower temperatures than other handle materials and wears like pig iron.
Right. But it's like, it looks, some G10 is just solid through. This is like layered G10 or something, right? Yeah, so
we do that 2x2 layer, and that gives us almost the mimicry of grinding through wood.
Pretty cool.
Gives you that more organic look.
Yeah, I like it. You know I like it because it's a big old knife, and I like them big ones, right? So. And then finally, I asked Steve what his most popular knife is after all these years. How long have you been in business now?
This is our 8th year.
8th year, and you wanted to guess what it is?
The namesake of the company. The Bush Tool is still our most popular model. The closest one to it outsells 3 to 1. So
really?
Still very, very popular, and it makes me proud because it is the reason that the whole company exists.
Yeah, and so this is the Habilis Bush Tool from Habilis Bush Tools. It's kind of a nice belly in the blade, and I'm telling you, this knife just feels really good in your hand. It's got a great feel. It's just kind of like what people call a one-tool option knife. I mean, it's really good for almost everything.
That was my whole idea, is to build as much utility into it without having the utility of it become clunky or like it's superfluous. Everything about it was intended to be streamlined, but give you value for that feature.
There you go. So, and he has other colors besides the orange, but I like the orange because it kind of makes it really easy to find if you drop it in the leaves or the pine straw, as I am prone to do. But then what other colors handles do you have?
We do the charcoal, which is the black and gray, is our other color option.
Okay, so you can get almost like Henry Ford.
Yep.
But
we used to do 3 colors, and honestly, the 2 outsold everything.
You did brown, right? I think.
Yes. And unfortunately, it was popular for a short time, and then it weaned off. So we decided to concentrate on offering more varieties of blades than varieties of colors.
That makes sense, because when you get right down to it, that's what's important.
Yeah, and generally people either want something that's easy to see or hard to see. The in-between doesn't really
make sense.
Very much.
So if you're looking for a really well made right here in the USA by Stephen himself, right?
Yes, sir.
Every knife made by Stephen with loving care. I encourage you to check out the Habilis Bush Tools. Again, this is the very first knife that I reviewed. It was the Pathfinder Trade Knife. I bought mine from, I think, from Dave Canterbury's website back then, and it's never let me down. And I think you only had a couple of versions of knife back then, because that was like, I don't know, it was 4 or 5 years ago now. So I'm really happy with mine. I think just thanks for doing such a good job and taking really pride in you. I like to see somebody that takes pride in their work and really cares about what they're doing. So
thank you.
Thanks for taking time, Stephen.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching Survival on Purpose coverage of the 2018 Blade Show. Just remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.